Pitt opened his eyes, but the thumping did not stop. The first grey of mid-September daylight showed through the curtains. It was not yet 6, and there was someone at the front door. Beside him, Charlotte stirred a little in her sleep. In a moment, the knocking would waken her too. He slid out of bed and moved quickly across the floor and onto the landing. He ran down the stairs in his bare feet, snatched his coat off the rack in the hall, and with one arm through the sleeve, unbolted the front door.
"Good morning, sir,"
Jesmond said apologetically, his hand still in the air to knock again. He was about 24, seconded from one of the local London police stations to Special Branch, and he considered it to be a great promotion.
"Sorry, sir,"
he went on,
"but Mr. Narroway wants you, straight away like."
Pitt saw the waiting hansom just beyond him, the horse fidgeting a little, its breath hanging vapour in the air.
"All right,"
he said with irritation. It was not a particularly interesting case he was on, but he had it nearly solved. Only 1 or 2 small pieces remained. He did not want a distraction now.
"Come in."
He gestured behind him towards the passage to the kitchen.
"If you know how, you can riddle the stove and put the kettle on." "No time, sir, begging your pardon,"
Jesmond said grimly.
"Can't tell you what it's about, but Mr. Narroway said to come right away."
He stood firmly on the pavement, as if remaining rooted to the spot would make Pitt leave with him even sooner. Pitt sighed and went back in, closing the door to keep the damp air out. He climbed the stairs, doffing his coat, and by the time he was in the bedroom, pouring water out of the ewer into the basin, Charlotte was sitting up in bed, pushing her heavy hair out of her eyes. "What is it?" she asked, although after more than 10 years of marriage to him, first when he was in the police, now the last few months in the Special Branch, she knew. She started to get out of bed.
"Don't,"
he said quickly.
"There's no point."
"I'll get you a cup of tea at least," she replied, ignoring him and standing on the rug beside the bed. "And some hot water to shave. It'll only take 20 minutes or so." He put down the ewer and went over to her, touching her gently.
"I'd have had the constable do it, if there were time. There isn't. You might as well go back to sleep and keep warm."
He slid his arms around her, holding her close to him. He kissed her, and then again. Then he stepped back and returned to the basin of cold water and began to wash and dress, ready to report to Victor Narroway, as far as he knew, the head of the Secret Service in Queen Victoria's vast empire.